Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Twisted and the Twilight, where honestly, I think we've got Clan Rictus pretty hard on the back foot. The fact that Elithanar apparently has an army over here, and that it looks like the Dark Elves have taken all of the other territory Clan Rictus might have, bodes pretty ill for them. Are they... hold on, how many settlements are they showing? Three in total with no army at all. Interesting. So it's probably here, there, and maybe one of these up here in the mountains. So boy, the Dark Elves did not waste any time going to work on them, huh? Well, let's do this thing. No, can we not? Oh, okay, there's a debuff here. Nature's Wrath just has a really long cooldown. I guess that's fair, it is super powerful. Alright, why don't you get back in there? And I guess we're just going to attack instead. Now, the balance of power bar suggests that we are not going to do so well here. I don't agree, but I do think this is going to be a costly victory. We have Crone Hellebron over there. I'm pretty sure... oh no, sorry, this is the third Clan Rictus settlement, right? We're pretty sure Crone Hellebron is going to stop there. So if we take this battle, if we take this settlement now, even if it's a very costly battle, we'll probably have time to replenish because our replenishment is so high. So I think let's go for it now. We could spend a turn building siege equipment. And you can see here, we have a couple bonuses to the rate at which we exhaust enemy supplies. So we could just sit around the walls and cause attrition. Obviously, my concern there is that, first of all, our economy falls apart if we're not constantly killing people, and secondly, if we spend time here, Crone Hellebron will have time to conquer this, heal up. Actually, it has, like, no garrison. She'll spend a single turn healing, and then she's going to come after us and disrupt our push. So let's just do it now. This is maybe going to be a little bit on the tricky side. They have some pretty decent melee units, and they have the advantage of walls and fortifications. But we also have an advantage, which is that we brought way more arrows than they did. And a lot of their units are not particularly good against arrows. They do have those storm vermin who are pretty heavily armored, but aside from that, a lot of their stuff is going to be very vulnerable. So I don't know exactly how I want to do this. We have the Zotes, who could just charge a gate and break it down, but... with them having, it was 4 units of Skaven, of Storm Vermin with halberds, right? They actually have pretty considerable anti-large. So maybe that's not the smart way to approach. So let's see, they have 3 gates. You can see these fort towers. They'll be able to fire in a pretty wide cone coming out all the way to the back of the map. So we want to try to approach from a part of the fortress that doesn't have any of those, like over here, would be, I think, a good angle. And then we do have a lot of flying units. Let's go ahead and approach on this side. Now, they have a catapult, if I remember correctly, and that is a concern. I am not wild about having to march in on this catapult. That is a terrible way to set up my units. Let's just fix this a little bit. You guys, get all the way over here. You guys also get all the way over here. Alright. So let's talk about planning. First of all, of course, hit that. It is really a bummer that you can't give your units initial orders during the planning stage, so it always makes more sense to place and then pause and then actually figure out your strategy. So they have, multiple units of Storm Vermin with halberds right there. They have Rat Ogres back here that I'm not too worried about. We're pretty good against large units. Plague Monks, more halberd Storm Vermin. You can see over here, they got their siege stuff. So the lightning cannons are going to be very good against, like, flying stuff. It's basically just a laser. It's a laser gun. And then they have these huge catapults. The Plague Claw catapult is one of the better ones in the game, in my opinion. Does a lot of damage to massed infantry, and because it shoots plague everywhere, it's also very demoralizing. It's just gross. It's a dangerous projectile and also a gross projectile. You don't want to get shot by something that smells like that. The good news is, it seems like they don't really have a lot of ranged units available, and they're not guarding their siege stuff very well, so I bet we're going to be able to make something happen on that front. I'm going to have our flying units try some nonsense. And actually, Let's pull Gwendolor in right now as well. And we'll try to loop around and either get their siege units or at least distract a bunch of them. And then we can figure out if we need to pull back from there. You know what? You should be on that too. This is sorry, go sort of wide because I don't want to get shot at too much by their towers. Alright, all of our flying units are fast. That should get done quickly. Then we probably just want to approach the walls with a lot of stuff. Let's have our archers set up like over here. Their siege stuff is far enough back that we don't need to be too concerned about them shooting catapult garbage at us right now. And if they start to move up, we'll just move back. We move much faster than their siege weapons do. Alright, I am not going to send our lord over on the attack. Alright, so you can see this tower, if we mouse over it, this is its firing arc. Part of the reason we move up right at the beginning of the battle is to get things out of that initial arc. Fortunately, that is the only tower that is actually manned. They just didn't bother to put guys on the rest of the wall. So we don't even need to go quite as wide as I was saying here. We can kind of just start, we can start moving forward now. Those units are heavily armored. But we can... Alright, remember, Skaven do this thing. This is part of the reason I wanted to keep our melee close. This should be no problem at all, though. Let's get some spellcasting over the wall, right? We can do some harm here. Let's use one of our free ones. And yeah, they almost have no ranged at all, right? Like, they have some poison wind globadiers, but they put them up on the walls to protect the gate, which is going to mean they're going to have a really hard time getting them down to a place that matters, say, to defend their artillery. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and just continue harassing them. And obviously, we're getting pretty bad damage per arrow here, but it's very low-risk combat. Alright, let's make sure that we're attacking the right targets. So, first of all, both the eagles on the Warp Lightning Cannons, immediately. And then we'll have Sestashal in melee mode, go after the catapult crew, and we'll just pull the Hawk Riders basically over top of this stuff and let them have it. There's not a lot they're going to be able to do about this, actually. They should have built a better garrison. Alright, careful. Don't chase those guys so far that you end up in firing range of the tower. Now keep in mind, they're Skaven units. They'll break and run, and then they'll come back, and it'll be a whole annoying thing. Alright, we want to watch this carefully, because there's going to come a time when we need to pull the eagles back out. Wait, who do I have selected right now? Oh, the Logue's Tricksters have skills, right? Yeah. Does Gwendolor have anything? Gwendolor does not have anything. Okay. So yeah, not a ton of tech to employ at the moment. We are going to have you two drop a volley on the Rat Ogres. This is the price they pay for coming over here to defend their units. Alright, their lord was over here, all stealthy. Okay, break them, break them, break them. So you can see the crews are panicking and running already. You know what? Never mind. I don't care that much about those units. We did the damage we needed to do. Let's get out. We'll have the ranged people stay on these guys for the moment. Take you out of melee mode. Alright, they summoned in another group of... Oh, well, that's an even worse position to do that in. What are you guys thinking? Why summon in melee in between my melee and my huge monsters? What is the long-term plan there? Okay, so they're massing up around their door. I almost wonder, are they thinking about making a move here? Because they should. It would be a really good idea for them to run out and actually engage us. But the AI is kind of dumb, and I don't think they do that. I think they will just sit inside their walls because they are too scared. There we go. So the trees will handle that, and we got lots of fire here. I don't see any particular reason to engage any more than this. All right, you guys keep moving. These little sling units will damage us eventually, as you can see. Though even several seconds of unattended fire, it just doesn't add up very quickly. We don't have a lot of armor, but they don't have a lot of damage, so it works out. Yeah, I'm gonna have Sestashal move forward a little bit. Let's flush them out again. Because I would love to completely remove their ranged units. Boy, where did those slings go? There they are. Alright, they do have a limited number of charges of this spawn units garbage. They'll run out eventually. Alright, so let's make sure we have the ranged units focusing on these guys. Do I want to spend another charge of Volley of Kurnus? I was thinking we were going to save it for armored enemies, but honestly, the armored enemies have fared so poorly over here that maybe we don't even need it. I am going to fire it again. Let's just burn these guys out right now. Or actually, you know what? No, let's fire it all at their lord. You give him one too. Let's see about this. I'm almost going to push him out of the battlefield. Okay, so it's not so powerful against a single body. Troops have uncovered hidden foes. Oh no, it's more units of slingers. Yeah, we're not in that much danger here. So I'm going to fly my eagles in, and I think we can just... I'm not too worried about these clan rats turning around. There we go. We can refocus like this. You need to keep an eye on the eagles so they don't wander into too much trouble. But to be perfectly honest with you, these clan rats are going to get absolutely murdered. Alright, they're going to keep trying to do this, like, gamble backwards and then run forward once they've reloaded trick, and it's going to keep not working. Oh. I have a unit that, we have people here who chased fleeing Skaven into range of the tower. So I've let this one unit of Eternal Guard get chopped to pieces very slowly. Right, keep feeding more magic into the magic pool. At some point here it'll make sense for us to actually like push forward, but we have not hit that point yet. It is remarkable how bad all of our flying units are doing at killing these slingers, though. Like, look at that. One of these eagles is at half health. Like I've said before, eagles are just, like, they're remarkably bad units. Here, let's have the flying goon squad just pull back for the moment. You guys did what we needed you to do. And it may well be time to start considering the actual push. I think we've weakened them pretty considerably. So, how do we want to set that up? We've got a bunch of units up on the walls here that unfortunately cannot be targeted with many of our kinds of magic. Yes, there's a lot of... Oh, this'll totally cast on a wall, though. That's weird. This is a spell that relies on, like, things growing out of the ground. I would have expected this to be one that doesn't work on walls. Yeah, okay, we got the initial explosion part of it, but not the part where the vines creep up through the ground. So we could summon in a new eagle. But I think we're in a position here to just start, oh, the eagles are Eagles are being hunted by foolish slingers. Do you guys want to... Let's just pull them back, right? Because I'm not really worried about these slingers in any other context. Let's just have you guys fall back outside the walls. They won't do anything. Alright, let's have some of the big units start moving up on the wall. Big units. Have some of the units that are good at melee combat start moving up on the walls. And we will move archers up closer for support. We gotta remember we don't want to get close enough for this tower to shoot at us, although for the moment that tower is unmanned. Once we're in position, actually, it's probably might be a good idea for us to refocus them on the Plague Monks. Never mind, the Plague Monks see what is coming and they are running away. So, any infantry unit can be commanded to just climb up some walls. Everybody brought with them invisible pocket ladders, so they're just gonna throw up their ladders and start scaling. We could drop some eagles, or drop some crows, I suppose. It will at least be very annoying. And then once actual melee combat is joined, we'll hit them with the curse. So you can see here, we got our ladders up. Unfortunately, climbing ladders is very tiring. You'll see this unit will move from fresh to exhausted very quickly. Keep in mind, we've basically not used the sisters at all at this point. And I think we are now approaching the time. Let's get some dragon breath out here and... I'm a little bit reluctant to have us move around. We could put up more ladders against the surface of the wall, and they don't have this tower manned right now, but they could very quickly just put somebody up there. Alright, I'm actually going to have her just... Let's have the sisters just land on these globadiers. I don't want them having any ranged units up on the wall while we're advancing. Now, there is going to be some friendly fire. That's the thing we got to worry about a little bit. Which one's the curse? Here we go. Alright, so as we join battle, they're getting all messed up. And then you see this big box drawn behind the gate? This is control of the gate. Whoever has the units in the box has control of this gate, so we're just gonna push them back with our terrifying storm of arrows and dragons and eagles. We're gonna take control of the gate. You see this little icon will change color. It's a little obscured right now, but yeah, this red icon here will change color when we have control. And then once that is the case, we'll just open the gate and walk our units through rather than like running stuff up and trying to bash a hole in it. Which is doable, but it would take a while. Okay, let's see if we can... They've brought their wizard up here to fight with me, which seems like a bad idea to me. I think wizards usually get defeated in melee combat by dragons. Also, the arrows are gonna kill him before Captain Har even has the chance. Alright, we have that second unit. Oh no, they never actually started climbing the ladder. Well, get the hell up here, because we're gonna need you. Let's give these guys some backup. Maybe the fastest I've ever seen a unit panic and give up. Okay, they saw the writing on the wall. Yeah, we were going to take the gate, then we were going to move this whole force through, and so that may have seemed like a very cautious way to approach that battle, and I grant you, it was. We could absolutely have resolved that faster, but because of the amount of Dark Elves hovering just north of us, I thought it was wise to maybe take this one efficiently. We want to be back at full strength in as few turns as possible. Everybody except the Eternal Guard is probably going to be maybe this eagle. is going to be healed up in a single turn this way. So we are ready for a storm of Dark Elves to drop in upon us. And you know what? We might actually want to call our second army back. Maybe we want reinforcements for this. We'd have to call them back to the Witchwood, and that's a lot of running from there. You know, maybe that's not actually worthwhile. Maybe we just have them go and do Confederation quests. We'll start working on the rest of the forest health while we do this. So, how much money do we make? Okay, pretty good.
They cannot remain a threat.
And 10,000 from actually taking it over. Oh wow, plus 19% unit replenishment. I guess they had a lot of supplies in there. Okay, yeah, so we're going to be back at full health with everybody except the Eternal Guard. That's just fine. It's a fine outcome. Let's finish cleansing corruption, and then we should probably actually talk about what corruption is, for the people who don't know. What do you want next? We got the magic stuff that you needed. Tapestry of Magic is, wow. Bound spells on Sisters of the Thorn units. We don't have any Sisters of the Thorn, but I guess they have a spell on them. What else do we have up here? We have Public Order and Untainted Corruption, a small tax rate increase, which is not super relevant given her position. Lord and Hero recruit rank up. That's interesting. We're not going to be recruiting any new lords anytime soon. Or probably new heroes, honestly. This is good, but it can wait. These are improvements to her bound spells, so better cooldown and more uses for Dart of Doom and Acorns. More uses for Berry Wine and also passive regeneration on her. That seems okay. And this gives her some new stuff. A big leadership reduction for enemy units. Yeah, man, minus 16%, or minus 16 leadership for a bunch of enemies. It fires around self, though. So she has to be close. Still, that's quite powerful. And then Resplendence of Luminescence is like a weirdly small offense buff. Oh, it's small because it's not a spell, it's an aura. It's just on all the time. Okay, that's cool. What about these? Hit points, and this makes her a better fighter. 25 bonus versus infantry is actually incredibly powerful. And enables charmed attacks. I don't actually know what that means, and as far as I know, there's no way to mouse over the little symbol that it adds without, not mousing over this. So that's compelling. Winds and magic resistance, dramatic reduction in miscast chance, and cooldowns, man. Ariel's very powerful. You know what? We're going to take Aspects of Isha, even though I don't have her doing a lot of melee, just because I want to know what charmed attacks actually means. With 25 bonus versus infantry, she would have very impressive melee stats. Alright, let's do this and get the big garrison. And then, who has unassigned skill points? Treesinger Toltiran, in fact. Let's just keep working toward spell mastery. So Flesh to Stone gives a ton of armor, while Shield of Thorns gives physical damage resistance. These things are a little bit different. 60 armor is going to be way more than 22% physical resistance most of the time, but there are a lot of units out there that have damage that is largely armor piercing. Like, for example, you can see here 310 of every one of Treesinger Toltiran's attacks just completely ignores the presence of armor. So physical resistance is useful in those cases where you're up against a lot of armor piercing. Also, weapon damage increase. I like Shield of Thorns. I like Shield of Thorns a lot. Let's master that. And then we can probably start pulling in new units, right? We have a reasonable amount of income. Yeah, let's build up Treesinger as oh right, we have no local recruitment though. That's annoying. How long until we can get local recruitment? 7 turns until we can even start the buildings. Gee, that's real bad. I guess we could bring him back home, have him do his recruitment there, and then 10 turns after bringing him home, send him out to do stuff. Yeah, that's probably what we ought to do. Let's world route you back to the Witchwood, where we have all of our recruitment stuff. And then, yeah. I definitely don't want to do this right now. So... Oh, hold on. Before I forget. Can we convince these guys to give us the defensive alliance?
What would you wish to discuss?
What if I were to pay you? Because, I mean, we're going to keep getting money, right? We're going to keep killing stuff, so... What if I were to pay you? Still low. Okay. So that's not happening just yet. We're still trending upward a little bit. We'll get there.
Defender of the domain.
Varcio, go and mess with her. Oh, is Varcio exhausted? Yes, okay. Never mind. Why don't you instead go scout this way a little bit? See if there are any more Dark Elf armies coming down. I don't want to run too far, because I definitely want to have the ability to get back here. Okay, so Elithanar's got an army going there. Okay, that's fine. So, let's start recruiting some units. What does the Tree Singer want? I mean, obviously we have access to some tree units, and we should probably get them. We do have access to Zotes as well. I do love a Zote. We should probably start with trees, right? What does that tree skill do? So it's damage for Dryads and Treekin. This will give a ward save to Treekin. Okay. So, Treekin are kind of weird units. You can see they have a lot of armor and a fair amount of health. Only 26 melee attack. So they don't actually do a lot of damage. They're a forest spirit. Gain melee defense and accuracy benefits when fighting in forests. Do we have a description of that? You can just pass through trees, which is nice. Negate the charge bonus of any large attacker when braced. That's cool. It actually doesn't say in here anywhere exactly what the benefit that's being described on this one is. Okay, whatever, it's fine. But these guys are real tough. We're still going to be reliant on Dryads to actually do damage, I think. So let's grab... Oh, hold on. Are you not in the garrison? No, you teleported in next to the city, because we want to have our global pool open too. Let's grab trees. In the global pool, we'll probably recruit our archers. We can beef up the archer units a little bit here. Because you notice, global recruitment is a little bit less than twice as expensive as normal recruitment, so you want to pull your cheapest units in through this and get the more expensive stuff local. Do we actually want any fancier units? Like, first of all, how many units of archers do I really want? Let's go arbitrarily one more, and then start pulling Dryads this way too. And do we want fancier stuff? Because if we do, we should start recruiting that earlier. So we could pull Zotes, we could pull Blade Singers. How much bonus versus infantry do they have? Okay, that's not insignificant. Are we going to be up against a lot of infantry from these Dark Elves? Okay, yeah, they're still using, like, very early game army compositions, despite the fact that it is now turn 71. So you know what, maybe it's a good idea to have some Blade Singers. So hold on, let's cancel these, we'll recruit these units in a minute. Let's start with our slow recruiting stuff. Okay, so that's good. Got stuff coming in there. No, never. I was about to say, let's try giving the rest of our money to Trace, but that's right. We already tested that with 10k. So we'll just have to hope they come around. I sure would love it if Gay and Vale was actually getting forest health. Okay, Elithanar is potentially in some danger here. The Circle of Destruction did indeed fall to the Dark Elves. No big surprise there. And we killed the army that had started mustering troops for Clan Rictus, so it's possible that they didn't get any recruitment on this turn. It may still be the case that they have no units. We're going to find out real quick here, because we're going to go hit that port. Oh, okay. We finished this. More diplomatic relations with High Elves will help get Trace on side.
Itching for fresh battle.
I'm just going to go for it. Oh, hold on. Actually, one thing we should check before we make that decision is, can you see Hellebron?
You overreach.
Okay, she does not have the movement necessary to make it to Hotek's column this turn. then yeah.
Sends us.
Get me a twisted glade. Oh, a Lithanar's over here too. No, definitely. Okay,
They will know order.
run those guys off.
Fine, I'll go.
Hey, what a surprise! There's Skaven here. And it is another walled settlement, although this one doesn't even have a fully upgraded garrison.
It will
Yeah,
be a
let's do it.
glorious battle.
We could have used the lightning strike there to prevent them from bringing in that spellcaster as a reinforcement, the spellcasting lord. But I actually want him in the battle. I want to kill him. We'll get this over with. So we're going to run this battle a little bit similarly to the last one. Obviously, they have less dangerous stuff this time. So they have 7 units of stealthy slings. Those units are really going to help them almost not at all in this battle. And they don't even have a lightning cannon. They have no storm vermin. We can run this one a little bit differently. We could be way more aggressive with their gates this time. That said, the thing we did last time was so effective, it seems a little foolish not to take at least a little bit of advantage of a functional strategy, right? So here, let's do this thing. We have the ability to start our cavalry over here, but I want to start everybody on this side of the battle, even if we're planning to run people over there, because I want them to place all their defenders on this side. In siege battles, attackers place first. I think in most battles, attackers place first. So they get to see all of our stuff, then make their decisions. Then we get to do this incredibly annoying thing, and I do love to do an annoying thing. Actually, hold on. Let me pull up Gwendolor here. You should get the cooldown rolling on this. The archers should get moving up to here. The normal melee should get behind them and pretty close, so that, you know, when the thing happens with the rat summons, we are ready for it. We are on top of it.
Ariel shows the way.
Alright, and then we're going to control group you guys. Okay, we're definitely going to kill that catapult right away, and then we'll figure stuff out from there. I guess let's control group these guys too. So, let's lay on some super annoying over-the-wall magic harassment, right? This is always lots of fun. Alright, that's going to make their lives all very difficult. Alright, that should be pretty straightforward. So, the fact that they don't have any ranged melee at all is going to weigh heavily on them here. Alright, go get him. And in this case, I have absolutely no qualms about just spending volleys on these guys, because, like, who else are we going to do it against, right?
My glorious duty.
Alright, let's put her in melee mode and just have her harass. Okay, we should make short work of that catapult crew. When a unit panics and runs away, the direction that it runs may matter a lot. If a unit, in the midst of fleeing, actually leaves the map, like you can see via one of these white borders, it's just gone forever. It can't recover. So there's pretty good odds that when these guys break, they're just going to leave, and we'll never have to think about them again. Here, focus that way. We should probably cast some more spells over here or something. Let's give them another one of these. I mean, frankly, there's just not much else that we need to do. Just keep haranguing them like this. Yeah. Honestly, we could just have our decent melee units start climbing the wall now. There's no reason to wait on this one. There's nothing that we are afraid of here. Okay, we're breaking slingers left and right. They are bringing something over. It's more Slayers.
Captain,
Well, that's not going to work out for them.
make a stand.
We grow restless.
You guys get over here. I'm surprised at how long the catapult crews are staying engaged.
Dusk's might.
Alright, once again, they're running a wizard up onto the walls. I mean, like, a warlock is a little bit better at melee combat than a traditional wizard. They use some of their clan rats as reinforcements over here. That's not going to work the way they want it to. Should we have somebody support her? We have 20 seconds left on these. I guess so. Yeah, you guys get over here and work on that. Alright, so we've got basic melee troops climbing in. Here, let's get you a little closer. We can drop some birds or something. And the birds are going to be pretty effective this time because we're looking at a lot of very weak enemies. So yeah, they're just going to have their Warlock Master try to engage in direct melee with me, and it's probably not going to work. Okay, that lightning did some good damage, though. They do have lightning bolts. We'll run up and we'll give those guys that, that berry wine. Alright, so they'll regen over time. That's not as much damage as I would like.
Blade guard.
Let's get the Glade Guard to finish off the enemy ranged. I'm not even paying attention to what my units are doing, really. Oof, boy, they are catching an awful lot of lightning over there. Let's heal them with the Apotheosis.
Quickly.
She does have a real Galadriel thing going on, doesn't she? Constantly howling about light and being as terrible as the dawn and whatnot. Dragon Breath! More Dragon Breath!
The woods
Okay.
rage.
I'm not paying enough attention to Sestashal, and she's getting rat ogred a little bit over here. We should probably actually have one of these two eagles stay on the catapult crew, because we let them recover, and now they've come back.
Blade Captain.
Okay. This part of the battle's looking pretty resolved. They keep cycling in new new terrible units.
Ever ready.
I think we're about to see a massive leadership crash over here, and in fact a surrender. Yep, and you can see it spreading across the battlefield. Okay, well, we got our port. Now we can have trade agreements with people who are not, like, right next to us on our landmass. Which is good, because at this point, a lot of the High Elf nations are probably going to be amenable to trade. Now, the bad news is that in order to maintain this trade route, we're probably actually going to be spread a little bit thin. The port and Hotek's column, which we need to maintain our connection to the port, are pretty far apart, and the Dark Elves are pushing from the north on multiple angles, so maybe we end up bringing the Tree Singer up to play defense for a little while we work this out. Or, who knows, maybe our allies will show up and actually be useful. We should give them some coordination orders, see if we can't get them to hang out a bit.
Enjoyed that.
Alright, give me this.
Used by Orion's might.
Okay, Ikich is dead. Clan Rictus is gone. We did it. And it looks like probably if we had waited even one more turn, Elithanar would have been competing with us for the port. Okay, we have no items.
Serene Nestra. Tempest.
I forgot that we had maxed out all of our items already. Okay, so we've got our blue line stuff. We've got our special line stuff. We are level 24. Characters max out at 40, so you do have a finite number of skill points that you're going to be able to earn. And I think 16 skill points is not going to be enough to max out both the yellow and the purple, or yellow and the red lines, is it? Prey of Anathema requires 5 skill points in the previous group. Oh, okay, you know what? She has they have an abbreviated yellow line, so I guess actually maybe we would be able to do both. Let's start pushing on the red line, though. I want buffs for my units. In particular, I think this is valuable to do because the skills in this second box here are very powerful buffs, but they only apply to units that have achieved gold ranks in the army, rank 7 or above. And that's actually a pretty significant portion of our total stuff. Even the things that aren't gold are rank 6 or 5, so by the time we hit these skill points, they'll be ready to take advantage of them. So we'll grab this, we'll start pushing along that red line.
We have prepared well in
And you will be immortal next level, which is a good thing, because I am throwing your health away. So we finished Kadai, we have our reputation bonus. Do we want more High Elf rep? I will say that I don't think that the other parts of this are all that great. I guess it's expensive to upgrade the main settlement buildings in the forest, so maybe that construction cost bonus is worthwhile. And we do want to be friendly with the High Elves. Yeah, you know what? Let's grab it. It's only 4 turns. Still don't want to do that. Oh, right. We should, upgrade them. Yep. So we have here our port. It's not producing a ton of extra money, but it is giving us trade access to a bunch of factions we didn't have before. So let's go and talk about that. First of all, you guys. How are you guys feeling about a trade agreement?
speak. Wise indeed.
Okay. It's not actually a lot of money, unfortunately. How much cash do we have on hand? I'm willing to go pretty deep on this. Let's try, like, 12?
If you wish.
Okay, cool. So now Gay and Vale should be pulling in some forest health, right? Yeah, we got friendly heathlands, so 3 health per turn. That's pretty good news. And then we should also talk to the other High Elves. Eatane's at 23, trending toward 30. Excellent. And still no interest in a non-aggression pact, which makes me a little nervous. Okay, cool. A little bit of extra money, and of course more diplomatic value. And we don't have the ability to trade with any of the other forest elves, right? Because all the other forests are landlocked. We need to meet some more people out here along the coast to potentially trade with. We could send a hero out to do that. In fact, I think that's a pretty good idea. Let's recruit. Do we have the ability to recruit any new heroes? Ah, branch wraiths. Okay. So branch wraiths are like tree wizards. Tree Singer Toltiran's army doesn't really need one because he is a wizard. Remember, all wizards cast from the same pool of resources, so it doesn't really help you to have multiple wizards per army. You don't really get to cast more spells. You just want somebody who can pull from the winds. Do any of you have abilities that are relevant on the map? This seems pretty good. 10% ward save and an extra missile spell. Dodan and his Befuddlement of Mischiefs. Wow, 20% ambush chance. That's pretty good. Alright, we're going to pull Dodan. And maybe Dodan eventually ends up in an army. For right now, he's going to be a map hero. So let's give him some basic map skills. I guess Wound and Specialist. And his job is just going to be to sail over to the east and introduce us to people. Okay, and all that recruitment is still happening. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to have to get back to Hotek's column next turn, though, for sure. I mean, if Alithanar is able to hold the monoliths, that will mean we don't have to watch too carefully for Dark Elves coming from up here. And they are massing up to attack the column. The good news is we have so much movement speed, we might be able to get close to the column, close enough to function as reinforcements, while still maintaining enough movement to go into ambush mode, which would be very good news for us. Oh, and here comes a bunch of... Wow! Okay. Apparently everybody felt that it was time to come and save me. What a bunch of friends. So unfortunately, we don't have good ability... We don't have the ability to coordinate with all of the High Elves, but we can ask that army of lions to attack, like, Malekith or something. We can work together here. We can get some stuff done. Give me a new talisman. We're short on talismans. The Dreaming Ring. Casualty replenishment, recruitment cost, and... Okay, a usable regeneration ability. That seems pretty good. That is probably for the Tree Singer, who I believe, yeah, does not currently have a talisman. I guess we did have a Dragon Bane gem we could give him. Do we have any unequipped... Yeah, Scout. Seems good. Alright, do we want to pull in more units? We probably do, right? This is a pretty thin army right now. So we have 4 regiments of renown that we could grab at a moment's notice. Let's grab a bunch of Treekin. We just need something strong to stand in the middle of this army and keep enemies off of the archers and the blade singers. And in fact, we'll probably just pull another 3 units of Treekin after that to complete the army. That doesn't leave any room for the regiments of renown. But I don't know if we want these regiments of renown. I guess you guys are spear infantry with 45 melee defense. We have a bunch of wild riders here. Like, what this army needs right now is defenders. I'm going to go ahead and hire in like this, and we'll adjust later if we feel like we need to adjust. So, this is not really that tough of an army. Malekith is also running a lot of low-tier garbage. Alright, let's see if we can remove some of these characters. Nope, swing and a miss. Well, you know, the thing about 71% is it's not 100%, unfortunately. So yeah, let's just move in front of Hotek's column and lay ourselves a nice ambush. You'd think it would be hard to ambush with a dragon. But apparently we're great at it.
Merge with shadow.
Alright, so can I just get a called shot on Malekith here?
Magic in purest form.
I think it would be very helpful if you all could focus on that. I think there's a pretty good chance Crone Hellebrand's just going to charge into our ambush this turn, so I'm not going to target her specifically. Alright, I need you to get in the water, where it's going to be... Okay, that should work. Head down this way, get in the water. And then we do not have a lot of money left. Recruiting really burns through a big pile of gold pretty quickly. Hopefully Crone Hellebrand will walk into us and yield a whole bunch of gold. She sure did. Yeah, I don't know what is up with the... Like, they probably have access to better units than this. They should definitely use them. I'm gonna take Mistress Grace. We're in friendly territory, so we're already probably going to heal to full at the beginning of our next turn. Or rather, at the beginning of our turn. That's when replenishment comes in. So, I'm not too worried. We don't need to take the replenishment bonus now. And who knows, maybe we can just push the circle? With these, like, 2 half stacks of really bad units, I think our extremely advanced army stands a pretty good chance. And then we could lead a bunch of allied high elves forward. Oh, those guys have the sword. The magical cursed sword is on this army that's unfortunately behind our event messages now. We'll want to keep an eye on them. If the Dark Elves defeat them and take the sword, we'll want to jump the army that took it before they have a chance to get healthy. Oh, I forgot about chapters. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about chapter objectives. So, you have some sort of intermediate objectives to accomplish that give you little boosts of resources on the way to your final. For us, it's apparently every 100 health that Athalloran gains. So we got 2,000 gold for finishing it, and then each chapter has a number of bonus objectives, like kill enemies in battle during this chapter, or recruit a hero. that add extra money to your rewards. We apparently did a pretty good job on our bonus objectives last time, despite not having looked at what they are. And here in our new chapter, we've already gotten 2 of the bonuses done. Wipe out Clark Errand and research a bunch of technologies. Okay, so that huge influx of gold is probably going to be pretty helpful. And of course, the Forge of Daith is lit. Our allies have heard our call, and they're on the way. We can perfect our Twilight Spear here, apparently. I don't even know who has that. Is that you? Yes, okay. And you hit level 20, which I'm very happy about. Let's get immortal. Okay, so you maxed out corruption, your corruption cleansing. Boy, you really don't have a lot of value to take. I guess units on flying mounts, it's a good idea to have missile resistance. Make you slightly less likely to get shot down. And we are going to cap out aspects of Isha and actually throw Ariel into melee combat. Alright, so let's look at our red skills. This one affects just the tier 1 infantry, and I don't think that's very impressive for us. This is the archer skill. Reload time reduction and missile strength seems great. Striking branches for... this is ground cavalry. This is the... okay, this is the high skill elf units, which will make this one, of course, trees. Yeah, 12 armor and 10 flat physical resistance for treekin is pretty cool. Not in this army, obviously, where we don't have any of those, but... and so this will be the flying unit skill. Weapon strength, reload time reduction. Okay, I think we're going to start with the archer skill. We have a lot of archers still. It takes 6 skill points in that first red box to unlock the rest of the line. So that's where we will be focused for a while. Are you ready to run? No, that's right. You have one more turn of recruitment going. Okay, the Witchwood would still like us to cap it out. I don't really see a lot of benefit in doing so. What about down here? This upgrade should be finished, right? No, 4 turns. Jeez. That takes forever. So, do we want to push the Circle of Destruction? I mean, our allies are on the way up. Oh, Elithanar lost control of the monoliths. You know what? I'm going to go handle that.
Onward!
Our allies are on their way to do the other thing. And we probably don't actually want this stuff over here. Okay, so they do have...
Incomparable strength.
they do have more units than I was expecting over here. These are large forces, man.
For fresh battle.
Alright, I'm just going to go into ambush mode right here.
Must have known better.
We will prevent these guys from pushing any further south, but I don't want to run forward, because like right now, we could just barely reach Danoth to attack him, and then if he falls back, we don't, I think, have enough movement to chase, and then we're just sitting here right in front of all their stuff. Let's leave ourselves a little bit of room to work with. And I'm going to leave you right here. You just keep an eye on what's going on. We need information. So just do nothing with 16,000 gold? I mean, this upgrade's just not worth anything, right? It's a recruitment building, and I guess it's the ability to recruit tree men, eventually. What about the oak? Would we be better off upgrading the oak? Well, we can't quite do it. We're close. So relative to this, it's an extra 40 growth for all provinces, and 1 public order, and... yeah, if we're going to go drop in huge amounts of money into any main settlement, it should probably be the Oak of Ages. So I guess we're good for now. Let's just hold off. Oh, right. And you are still executing your multi-turn movement order into the sea. Here's the thing about guys who are made of wood. Not fast runners, usually. Alright, this is just, it's too easy. They keep just walking right into it. This time I am going to take the replenishment because we're not in friendly territory. We're not going to heal naturally this turn. I want to make sure we're in the best spot we can be in. It looks like we stole some armor off of them. But god, they have a lot of armies over here. We just keep killing them, and they just keep pouring out of the darkness. I'm glad to have my high elf allies nearby. It looks like this is going to take a lot of doing. Elves being friends with elves, it feels unnatural, you know? If there's one thing that I know about elf lore, it's that the only thing elves hate more than people who aren't elves is people who are elves. Okay, even more charge bonus and leadership for the sisters, because they never stop murdering. The Trickster's Helm is great. It's a really, really solid piece of armor. They should have put more effort into holding on to it. So what kind of armor are you wearing right now? You know what? Immune to psychology and physical resistance for all nearby allies. Yeah, actually, you should hold on to that. Do you have armor? You have your fancy legendary armor. Okay, what about Tree Singer? Tree Singer is wearing Armor of Fortune, which is fine. I think we'll swap it out for this. A little bit more ward save. And then the Armor of Fortune can go on just somebody. It doesn't really matter who takes it. But everybody has good armor already. We just have too many. We have too many suits of armor for the moment. I mean, it's a fine problem to have. What are you using? The Eagle Van Braces? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's get the Ward of Hoeth as well, I guess. And then you're kind of out of useful skill points to take. You don't really need ammunition. I think let's get missile resistance for her too, and then we'll start on the melee line. Because we do engage in melee with her. And what are you gonna grab? Are we working toward cooldown reduction for all spells? Do we want forest gifts maybe? Let's do this first.
Craving
Alright.
prey.
Do we want to push?
Forbids it.
This is a pretty weak army at the moment.
You waste my time.
I think I'm going to burn down the monoliths.
Tempestuous Arahad.
I don't think I want it, so we'll take it, we'll crush it. Oof, we took a lot of damage there. I maybe should have manualed that, apparently. Okay, we'll just burn this down, create a little bit of no man's land, and then we'll, on our next turn, we'll fall back to Hotek's column. Hopefully that will slow their advance enough. May as well max this out. Boy, we're going to have this red line stuff handled in no time.
Glade Captain reporting.
Varcio, are there heroes in this army?
Predict failure.
There are not, but this army has actual units in it. Sisters of Slaughter, Doom Riders, a Feral Manticore, which sounds a little cooler than it is, I think. In my experience, Feral Manticores are kind of crummy. I mean, just get over here and earn some XP, I guess. Let's knock out this guy. May as well support our allies here. Make their lives as easy as possible. So you're out of map action points. I guess we're just picking stuff up for combat now. Maybe Varcio ends up in an army before the end of the game. I think we will, in fact, do this. And are we good? Yep, you're still... Wait, didn't we have you recruiting enough units to fill out your army? Did I miscount? Oh, you know what? I think I was looking at the 17 and going, and we're recruiting 3 more units, so you're good. It's fine. We'll cap out his army with Regiment of Renown stuff. So he can just start running. Because we can recruit that on the run. Okay, so we're going to be in a pretty good position to punish these Dark Elves for all of the nonsense they were trying to pull. And I am perfectly happy to cede a lot of this territory to our allies. We don't really get a lot of benefit out of having a ton of non-magical forest areas. Okay, look at them all planning ahead and setting ambushes and... Oh, jeez. Okay, apparently we gotta fall back to the Twisted Glade. Boy, that's a very annoying thing for them to be doing. See, this is why we need the second army in this area. We're going to have the Tree Singer just, like, sit in the port for a little while we run off and murder everything else. I want to be confederating the other forests right now. I really do. Just, we got this Dark Elf problem. So Elithanar and Altharlos here have set up a pretty good trap together. If the Dark Elves ride forward to attack the lions, they'll wander into the other ambush. The Ezrai wish to erect a new shrine within Athalorn to give praise to the gods they so faithfully serve. Upkeep reduction for all units and more money from all buildings, or income from post-battle loot. Well, unfortunately we did pretty much just finish all of our recruitment, so the first couple lines of this are no good for us. That's a lot of money, though, potentially. I mean, so's this. I'm going to take this. We're paying a lot of money for our units every turn. Upkeep reduction seems nice. Alright, we know what you're doing. How far are you going to make it this turn? Okay, so you'll get to Hotek's column next turn. The sisters are not in great shape.
This will fail. No.
I don't think we're going to be able to stop them from burning the port. I think if we run the sisters' army down there right now, the sisters just die.
Inseparable. Invincible.
This is kind of like a mind-blowing amount of damage to have taken from that auto-resolve. That was very unfortunate. I mean, we could try running over here. What's the garrison of the Twisted Glade? It's 8 units. And these guys are close enough that we would get our reinforcements. Sorry, that's not the building I wanted, or the button I wanted. Here, garrison. Alright, so 2 units of War Dancers, some Dryads, some Deepwood Scouts, and a Hawk Rider. And remember, the Hawk Riders out of the garrison will be weaker than the ones we're used to, because they're not receiving the bonuses, the army bonuses from the sisters, on account of not being in that army. Maybe. We might be able to pull this off, actually. Just run up here and lightning strike the first one so that it's just the sisters versus a smaller, tired army, and then we do a normal attack against these guys with the reinforcements from the Glade. You know what? I'm going to think about it. We are at the hour. This is where we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. That is supposed to be moving. I think it's struggling to catch up. OBS, you know? Alright, anyway. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back... It's gone nuts now. When you come back next time, tomorrow, I think we're going to have an awful lot of Dark Elf blood on our hands. And we'll see you then.